We're here to introduce a relatively radical concept to teach infielding based on footwork. And the concept is based on a 2, a 4, a 6, or 8-step move and a Chinese fan. So you can see that we've got the field laid out that way for each position. So I'm going to walk you through each position with some of the members of our team and let them show you the footwork that makes this simple. I'm going to start with the shortstop, and so I'll have all the players go to their positions and we'll follow the shortstop out. The shortstop is the core to the infield move. She's got a lot of 4- and 6-step moves in her rotation. The inside rib of this Chinese fan, as we see it, is her first step. And so it begs to argue with a little of the controversial wisdom of shifting and loading and moving. It basically says that Berkeley will walk in to that X before the pitch and be on the balls of her feet, and her first step's going to be a hard cross to the rib of the fan in any direction. Go both ways, Burke, please. And she'll go forward with the same concept. She'll stop, read the ball, or she'll cross and stop and read the ball up one of the lanes of the fan. Go ahead again. We've broken the field down into this being 1 step, this being 2 step. So Berkeley's backhand move is going to be a basic 2-step in this game, and no more for a play. She can get the 4 over here on this step, but she'll only be able to catch the ball. She won't be able to cross the diamond usually and make the play. Her 4-step move is back at an angle play, which cuts off this lane, and she'll come this way to make a 4-step move where she still has 5, 6 to cross over and throw. So let's go ahead and show them that, Burke, where you have 5, 6 to cross over and throw. Walks in, drive. Okay, and she got a couple extras there, but that's the essence of it. These are the basic 6-step approaches, and this is where we get into, sometimes we get into trouble with our players making little bitty steps out here. And so what we end up doing is we come walk in, and then as they see the ball, they take 1, 2, then they drive out, get 3, 4, 5, and 6 is right here. 6 is usually as far as a shortstop can go to make a play with a 1, 2 throw out of it. And so we want her to be able to get to the 6-step line or the blue line. So go ahead and make a 6-step move with a 2-step finish. So go ahead, Burke, and keep that same rhythm. And then she comes across. The 4-step move's really, the 4-foot first step move's really important because it sets the rhythm. The steps should never be any longer. They should stay the same rhythm all the way through. Okay, what Berkeley's going to be able to do from shortstop is close this gap right here on a ground ball. As long as she's got an angle to throw, she's going to be able to cross off and get 2 more and make a play. So she can take a 6-step towards the bag. Go ahead, Burke. Okay, you're way too long. So this is a good teaching mechanism right now, meaning her steps are not controllable, they're too long. So go ahead and see if you can't shorten them down and match the 4-step rhythm. Okay. Okay, you can kind of see it as a teaching lesson right there. If she timed herself to 4 here, you'd be able to see it come out just right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, she's in control. 7, 8. So they're driving. Some shortstops will be able to close this completely to 6. And all of them need to get within 6 to cover the throw down. And so that's the rhythm we want. 2 steps to a backhand 4, 4 steps to her normal play in the edges. She should be able to get 4 over here and make a play, and 6 steps out in front of her. And this will help her time. Every player's got different length of strides. And so in this case, Berkeley's look a little longer. We might have a larger fan. Let's go to third base and look at third base because it's a key to this whole swing. Delaney's going to make 2-step moves in each direction, side to side, and she'll cross also, which contradicts with some of the common knowledge. Okay, Delaney, walk in, read a ball, drive hard. She's got a backhand, come in, walk in, read a ball, and she crosses again. And she's got a forehand going towards the base. So she wouldn't be there, she'd be driving through it from her motion. She's got a 2-step move forward up into these spots, so she can go ahead and drive into these lanes. And she's got a 6-step move to cover a bunt up here. We call it a 6+2. So Delaney, go ahead and guys, you won't walk in. You'll freeze up and roll forward and step out. So go ahead and see where you end up, Delaney, on this one. Okay, so she's got a 6-step move to cover a bunt. And she crosses in here, so you can see her pattern and length. Of course, every infielder is going to have a little different length of steps. Our pitcher has got a very small fan, and she's going to go ahead and throw from her throw, step into her position. If we see a short ball, she'll run up her lane and make the play 4+2. She may cover further up, but in general, this is what we want her to do, and all we want her to do. Okay. So now what we see in the magic of this part right here is if her backhand's here in 2, and you stand with your backhand reach out there on the edge, and you stand with your backhand reach out on here, then we should be able to close this down to where there's hardly any 5/6 hole here. And the longer driving strides we have or the better angles we get, we shut it down. And right there's the close, the 2-step close on the 5/6 hole. Okay, when we look at the pitcher's concept here, we see that if she can cover to this edge of the fan, go to the edge on 6 there, and just stand on the rim. She's going to be right there. We've got this gap closed off to where, basically around the pitcher's feet or what's left that's open of the Chinese fan. She's got a 6-step move to there, or a hard 6 to second base for a cover. Now, we're going to have Alex move across the infield on a 4-step here, and you're going to see where she ends up is right there. There's her backhand alley right in there. We can't make the 6-step move. We have not been able to figure out how to make a 6-step move going away from the bag. We can make a 6-step move from third. We can make it from short. We can make it second to the bag. But hers is a 4-step move and then 2 back. So go ahead, plant, catch the ball. She steps back and makes a 2-step move back. She has a 6-step move forward up the lanes. So she crosses hard. Again, first step's important. She got 5 in there right there, so she may be able to get further up the fan. She can make all these plays and still cover 1. Her backhand move 2 is right over here, and this is the one that kind of defies the logic of this plan, because she should be able to get to right here with her glove very easily in 1-2 and back up first base play if it's a shot. Kayleen, turn around and do a cross-step move on first. 1-2. She's got that hole. You stand here in this hole, please, and you'll see that the 3-4 is completely closed, which is real critical for pitcher's defense. Now, Kayleen can go back to her square, her starting point, and show us across to the foul line. Okay, do that again, please. Okay, now we can teach these moves. It does mean what we do want to see is that they can move and cross off both feet. That's counter to a lot of shift and go people that teach this and can get to here. Show her 4-step move and why she can't take more. That's her bunt. When she spins, she's got to go 1-2 to throw it back and get her play at first base for her bunt coverage. Some first basemen will come all the way up and cut this off, which means to do that, she would have to have a starting point of her fan closer up to shut off the pitcher's lane. Okay, the catcher has the same issue. They've got a 4-step move out of the box. So the catcher's got to drive out, and we see this as being fairly common with catchers, of wanting to kind of gather a couple times and take 1-2 in the box. But they got to explode out like they're coming out of blocks. And then they pick it up and take a 2-step move over. If a catcher does receive it in 2, so step out here and receive it in 2, then some of our issue is that she's now throwing on 4, no one's on the bag. So we're now teaching our catchers to go to 5-6, another crow hop, to give the first baseman or the second baseman time to cover. Okay, so we've got 4 steps moves from the catcher. We've got 6-step potential moves plus 2 throwing from the third baseman. We've got 2 4 and 6-step moves from the shortstop with 2 throwing on each one. We got 4-step moves potential from the pitcher with 2 throwing. We've got 2 4 6-step moves going this way from the second baseman. And then we have 1 pure 8 move in the game where it's 8 to the bag. And so our second baseman now has to be able to read bunt. When our first baseman rolls forward, shows bunt, we've got to get the same timing 8 steps across. So go ahead, Alex. And if she can get there on the outside foot in 8, she'll be squared. If she gets there in 9, she'll be angled. Same thing with shortstop. If she gets there in 7, she'll be angled and not have coverage. If she gets there on the even number, she'll be able to receive the ball and have both plays each direction. So the 2 4 6 8 Chinese fan is a basic way to teach infielders the rhythm of the game. Now we're going to take a small break and then we're going to hit balls and demonstrate it to some degree. Okay, now we've got the players on the field. In order to teach this, if I hit the ball right at Delaney, I won't see much footwork. So in order to train this, I've got to hit gaps and demand that the infielders make moves. So in this particular case, I won't let them where I'm going, and they'll have to move accordingly. And that was a 4-step move, I believe, with a 2-step gather and throw. That was a 3-step move with the 4-step actually closed. So what she did there, we prefer, instead of working the backhand, if we have time, close it out and then face the ball. Ball's through, but we had a player on both sides of it. And we had the backup play on that one. I would actually probably ask the third baseman to close that gap. She's still got to play that line and protect it for us. And we asked the first baseman to stop. Go ahead and go back into that position. We've told her whatever she does, don't go past the 2nd step. When she reaches out, that's as far as she goes. Nothing else is her ball. She does not keep going. She retreats to the bag immediately. She's got 4 steps back to the bag. That time she took 6, but she would have 4 hard back. She took 2 plus 4, and she's on the bag. So let's do that again, Kayleen. Just show the footwork. 1, 2, no ball, and she's back in. Okay, let's show you the catcher's move here on a cover for the catcher. Most of the time it's the short bunt. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. She picked it up in 2, and you saw that. There was no second baseman there. She's got to know to go ahead and attack and shorten her throw. We'll put a bunt on this side. Okay. We'll do it again, another bunt move. And we'll attempt to close off the 5-6 hole one more time. Okay. So to wrap this up, this is a practice drill to try to close off the infield to where a ground ball pitcher has a fighting chance with feet in place. It won't solve hands yet, it won't solve throws, but it gets feet in position based on a concept of 2, 4, 6, and 8 steps and a Chinese fan as lanes to follow up.